Okay, let's see here, friends. Looks pretty good. You can see most of the mat. If I mess with it, am I gonna ruin it? Maybe. Let's see. A little bit better. All right. Hello. Good morning for me. Maybe good afternoon for you. Greetings. If you're watching this after the live stream, go ahead and skip ahead about 8 minutes or so. I'm just getting the stream started here. Yeah, if you are here with me now, get your mat set up. Make sure you got some comfy clothes on. We'll move a bit today. It's not going to be like last night's chill practice, but it's all rainy here. It's just making me feel like a little bit of gentle movement. So, yeah, getting started in about 8 minutes or so. Get set up. If you want some jams for practice, I did throw a playlist up for you on my Instagram story. So, in the meantime, you can go peep that at the.anna.mc. Cue that up on a separate device, throw it on in the background, or not. Yeah, that's all I got for you. We'll get started soon. Where's my laptop? I wanna find it so I can do things. But I gotta plug it in because it died. Cool. My phone just fell over because a flash flood warning just came through my phone. Excellent. If you're not in Austin, it's rainy AF here today. I'm not mad at it though. My garden needs it. My soul needs it a little bit. Everything be washed clean. Awesome. Rain came in over here. You can get a little towel and clean that up. Make sure y'all can hear me. Testing 1, 2. Yup. All right, let's get the website updated. Hello, friends. Okay, let's yeah, let's do that. Awesome. Website is updated. We're starting in about 4 minutes. So hello. Yeah, I don't know where you are in the world, but it's raining here in Austin. I hope that I don't get any more flash flood warnings while I'm teaching because it makes my phone buzz and fall over. But truthfully, I'm grateful for the rain today. It's really nice. Nice way to kind of cleanse, right? So yeah, if you're here with me, we're gonna do pretty gentle flow today. I don't know, it's all gray, it makes me feel sleepy. We will roll through some nice little sun A's to kind of get our blood moving, but we're sticking with fairly gentle stuff today. But I want you to keep in mind that the stuff we're doing today is also going to help prep us for our power flow tomorrow night, which I'll be teaching right here from my bedroom on this website at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So the stuff we're doing today is kind of helping to prep us for that a little bit tomorrow. Let's think. If you want some tunes for practice today, I did post a playlist for you on my Instagram story, so head on over there at v.anna.mc. There's a link to a Spotify playlist of a bunch of dope female artists. It's a really good playlist. I don't want to toot my own horn, but that's pretty good. If you are able to, please consider donating to our Teacher Support Fund. That money goes directly from viewers like you to teachers like me. Yeah, if you're able to donate, please head to blackswanyoga.com/live. There's this handy little button that says make a donation to our teachers. That's how you do that. Yeah, that's all I got. We got a couple minutes till we get started. Make sure your mat's out. Make sure you're comfy cozy. Get some water. I don't know. I'm sipping on some coffee still because I'm still waking up. Don't judge me. Or do. I don't really care. You're all the way over there. I'm all the way over here. Yeah. The thing about live streaming is it's kind of like being in a classroom, right? Wherein I'm talking at you, and I want you to respond. Only in the classroom, normally, you don't, maybe you giggle or something. But here, like, you can't. So I'm just like talking at an empty room, making myself laugh, which is still valid. So yeah, that's where I'm at today, friends. See a couple more of you hopping on. Welcome, hello. Yada yada. There's a playlist for you in my Instagram story. If you want music, check it out. Please donate if you can. Gentle flowing because it's rainy. That's where we're at. We're going to start in a minute or so in a child's pose today. Yeah, child's pose. We'll be there for a couple minutes. If you know child's pose isn't going to be accessible for your body to rest in for a few minutes, start somewhere else. Start, I would say, in a tall, comfortable seat instead, because that's going to kind of help facilitate you into easier transitions. But if you want to start on your back, start on your back. It's your practice. I'm just here to kind of guide you, offer you suggestions. Yeah. Oh, hello, another friend joined on. If you want to drop me a little message in the YouTube chat, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to. It's always nice to hear from y'all. Let me know how you're doing. I care. I miss you. I miss seeing people in real life. So, yeah, feel free to do that on YouTube. And I can always read those after class as well. So that's one of the things I do miss about the Instagram live streaming was like I would do a daily emoji check-in. Let me know how you're feeling using only emojis. It warmed my dang old heart. Cool. It's 12 o'clock. We're going to get started. Child's pose. So remember that this child's pose, as with most shapes, can look very different for everybody. So I want you to find an expression of it that feels good. So that could be knees wide, it could be knees together, it could be anywhere in between. Big toes are touching, hips sink back toward the heels, and if your hips don't sink toward your heels, slide something under your butt. It could be a pillow, it could be a book or a block. And then from there, we're going to get all the dirt off of our mats. And then we're going to take our forehead down to the mat. Perhaps it rests on an item of support instead. Find a comfortable extension with your arms, whether that be full or partial. Maybe you take that little reverse prayer we worked with last week when we did those shoulder openers. And then just close your eyes. Take a moment. Allow yourself to settle in. Allow yourself to be still. Begin to drop into the rhythm of your breath without changing, without judging. Simply notice. Notice the pacing, the depth, the sensation as breath enters and leaves your body. Perhaps you even begin to notice the sound of your breath. And what else can you hear? Maybe you hear raindrops on your roof, wind, cars passing by. And what are you feeling here? Drop into the body. Check in for any tension or discomfort. And then make a conscious effort to release the things that are within your control. Starting with the eyebrow, the jaw, and relax your neck and shoulders. Soften your belly and thighs. And with every passing exhale, allow your body to grow heavier to your mat. And I want your next inhale to be the biggest one you've taken today. Take your time, fill up. And then find a nice open mouth sigh. Good, 2 more like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. 1 more time, fill up. Empty out. Beautiful. Now seal your lips together and begin to tap into your Ujjayi breath. Inhaling and exhaling audibly through your nostrils. And let this breath be your guiding force throughout practice. If at any point you feel lost, simply return to the sound of your breath. Now before we get going, perhaps here in this stillness, you choose to set an intention for practice. Maybe not, that's fine too. But it could be something simple, right? If you're not in the practice of setting intentions, maybe just ask yourself why you showed up today. What it is you need from this practice. That can be purely physical. I need to move, to breathe, to sweat. It can be something more than that. I need to release, to focus, to forgive. If any of that's ringing true, just call your intention into your mind's eye and come back to it as you move. Take a deep breath in, big breath out. Good. We're going to start nice and gentle. If your arms aren't already fully extended in front of you in this child pose, begin to fully extend them. Crawl them further forward. Spread wide through your fingers. Then press through your hands so that your elbows just begin to lift off the mat slightly. Now we're pressing the hips actively closer toward the heels. I feel this stretch along the backs of my shoulders here. Taking a few breaths in this activated child's pose. Good. And And from here, we're going to lift the forehead up, look over to your left. You're going to crawl your hands to the left to take a stretch into the right side of your body. I'm going to keep pressing through my right hand, keeping that elbow lifted to intensify the stretch along my right side. If you prefer a more passive stretch, you can just allow the elbow to fall onto the mat. Whichever one you choose, begin to concentrate your breath into the right rib cage. We're going to press back through the hands, the forehead lifts slightly, and we walk on over to the other side. Maybe your torso rests on your right thigh. Left arm can remain active, shoulder wrapping down, or it can go passive. Just breathe into the left side body. Good. Reactivate, come through center. Take one breath in, one breath out. Beautiful. And then on your inhale, begin to pull yourself forward to a tabletop. Find a little bit of natural movement in this tabletop because I did have you in that child's pose for a few minutes. So just move it around, forward and backward maybe, getting the blood flowing back into the hips. Maybe rock the hips side to side. Couple breaths. Don't think too hard about it. Just kind of go where your body takes you. Beautiful. And start to come to neutral here. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. I always think it's a good idea to practice in a sweater until I actually start doing it. Spread wide through your fingers. Draw the navel upward slightly. Now we're going to soften through the elbows. And on the inhale, find that cow spine. Belly drops. Gaze and tailbone lift up. Shoulders sliding down the back. Soften the muscles in the belly. Let it just hang out. Big inhale. You exhale, lead with the pelvis. Draw the navel up and in. Round up your spine, chin tucks to chest as you press the ground away for your cat pose. Hold here, hollowing everything out. And inhale to soften the elbows. Drop the navel, lift the gaze and booty up. Exhale, press, curl, round. All right, friends, I want you to cycle through this cat-cow a few more times on your breath. Really beginning to explore the length and the sound of your breath. And then, of course, taking any variations that your body may be craving here. My computer has me on a swirling spiral. I hope that you guys can still see me. So yeah, just rolling through some cat-cows. Starting to drop in, starting to warm up the body a little bit. Cool, this is working. We've been working with these circles if you flowed with me in the last week. So we're still keeping that cat-cow idea, but we're circling the tail and the head as we do it. So maybe you take a few rounds of that today if that's something you've been enjoying in your body. I know I do, it's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, sweater's coming off already. But the hat's staying on. All right. You have a breath cycle here. Start to come back to that neutral table. Good. And from your neutral tabletop, just step that right foot to the back of the mat. Landing into the ball of your foot, actively press your heel back. Stretching into the calf a little bit. You can play with a little shift forward and backward if that's calling to you. I'm going to take a little wrist variation here, turning my fingers back toward my body to make this kind of a dual purpose stretch. I'm going to turn my fingers back forward. With this leg still extended, I'm going to start to roll onto my left side. So I'm going to take my hip on hip, point the right toes now, right? So it's kind of like a supported side plank here. Wrist is still under shoulder, my left knee is still under my hip. Then I'm going to inhale, take my right arm overhead. Choosing to gaze down today for myself. Finding this long stretch from the right toes through the right fingertips. Keep that shoulder drawing into its socket. Beautiful. And then we're just going to come back through center to a tabletop. Take one cat-cow. And we take that left side. Step your left foot back. Again, maybe take a wrist variation as you stretch into the left calf. Actively pressing the heel backward. And always be a little rock forward and back. And coming back to neutral with those hands, we're going to start to spin onto the right side, pointing through the left toes, shoulder over wrist, hip over knee, point through the left toes and reach the left arm overhead, drawing the shoulder down. Find a comfortable gaze with your neck, stretching all through the left side of the body. Good, and come back through center, one cat-cow. Inhale to a neutral tabletop, tuck your toes, then exhale your hips up and back to down dog. First down dog, take a few beats, friends. Check in. Any little movements you need to take here. Maybe it's a pedal out. Maybe you windshield wiper the hips left and right. Notice specifically where you're feeling the sensations in your body. For instance, today I'm feeling this a lot in my left calf, which is interesting. Don't know why. I'm not going to judge it, but I'm going to notice it, right? Acknowledge it. And then maybe be gentle on it today. And just make sure your foundation's solid, hands shoulder distance, fingers spreading wide, navel drawing upward, heels reaching downward. Good. Now from here, on an inhale, let's lift those heels high up. Start to draw the hips forward, shoulders come over wrists, and then look out for your plank pose. Then from your plank pose, bend and hover your knees and start to press your ribcage and heart closer towards your thighs. Actively pressing the chest back. And straighten the legs out, down dog. We're going to do that again on the breath. It's like a wave here. Inhale, heels up, hips high, roll forward, look out. Exhale, bend the knees, press back, and straighten out. Do that a couple times. Oh yeah. Good. Now with the knees generously bent, right, I'm going to shorten my stance a little bit. I'm going to look at my left ankle and take my right hand to grab for the outside of that left calf or ankle. Then I'm going to press my hand into my leg to draw my heart open, looking underneath the left armpit. And we exhale to release. Switching sides, I'm going to grab that right leg with my left hand, pressing to encourage this twist, gazing underneath the right armpit. And then exhale to release, find down dog. from down dog. Inhale, take your heels up, softly bend your knees, look between your hands, and then take some tiptoe steps to the top of your mat. Oh, I'm tight today. When your feet meet your hands, bend your knees a lot. Let your head hang. I'm going to grab for opposite elbows today for my ragdoll, but you don't have to. You have a few breaths here to kind of go where you need to. Allowing the thighs or the rib cage rather to rest on the thighs. Maybe sway, flutter, bob. What would feel good? And then notice what you're feeling here. Again, my left side feels kind of funny today. Maybe I slept weird. Maybe I strained it doing yard work. Who knows? I'm just going to notice it, acknowledge it, and then continue to acknowledge it and give it what it needs throughout practice. From here, release your fingers down. Keep your knees bent and slowly roll up to standing. Head is the last thing to arrive. When it does, we're going to take the shoulders up to the ears, down the back, palms forward for our mountain pose. Just softening slightly through the knees, drawing the navel in. On an inhale, take your arms up overhead. If possible, touch your palms together and create a steeple grip. So we're going to interlace all 10 fingers except the pointer and the thumb. Draw the shoulders down. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, tip your fingers over to the left, pressing your hips toward the right. Roll that right shoulder back to square the heart. And again, breathe into the right side body. Inhale, take it up through center. Exhale, fingers to the right, hips press to the left, square that left shoulder back. Really drive the hips over. Good, inhale, take it up, find a soft back bend as you look up. And exhale, forward fold, surrender down, knees softly bend. Keep that little baby bend in your knees and inhale to a half lift. Draw the navel in, lengthen the spine, shoulders slide down the back, fingertips root into the floor or your shins. On your exhale, high plank, plant your hands flat, step back 1 foot at a time. Look forward, chin away from chest, shift forward, come to your knees, and then lower down to the mat, elbows squeeze into ribs, leading with the heart. Toes on tuck, elbows wrapping back, thighs slightly firm up as we inhale to our baby cobra. Peel the heart off the mat, squeeze the elbows into the ribs. Notice how the knees begin to lift here, but the toes are pressing down. Good, and exhale, release down. Chin to the mat. I'm going to just take my arms a little bit wider. Let's do a couple more back bends here. So I'm going to take my hands just to the outside edges of the mat. I'm going to tint up to the very tips of my fingers, like I've got little cupcakes under my hands and I don't want to crush them. I'm going to take my elbows directly over my wrists and in line with my shoulders, still firming up the thighs. Begin to press through the tips of your fingers as you inhale to lift the heart. Notice how the shape has gotten a little bit bigger. Notice how there's a little more engagement going on in your core and your spine. Good, and exhale to release that down. Now we're going to take it even bigger. So I'm going to take my right hand outside the top right corner of my mat, left hand outside the top left corner of my mat. So now my hands are slightly in front of me. Still cupcake hands, y'all. Don't crush your cupcakes. Firm up the thighs, press through your fingertips, inhale, lift up. Good, and exhale to release down. Take your hands underneath your chest, elbows wrap back, tuck your toes. Inhale to a high plank. You can always transition through your knees. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take a few beats. All right, so as we flow today, I'm going to be working with knees to the mat to baby cobra. It's the flow that I use. That's where I'm at, right? It is what it is in my body. If your flow is chaturanga and up dog, that's your flow today. All right, so anytime I say take your flow, do it. If you are taking chaturanga and up dog, please remember that they're two different shapes. Your thighs should be working for both, and in upward facing dog, your knees should be lifted. No part of your leg is touching the mat in up dog except for the tops of your feet. All right. So we're going to roll through this sort of sun A variation, including those side bends on the breath, but we're going to take those breaths super slow and steady. Let's find downward facing dog and clear this out. From down dog, take a big breath in. Let it out however you need to. Good. Inhale, heels up, look forward. On the exhale, you can step, hop, or float, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, navel in, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, create that steeple grip. Exhale, fingers to the left, hips to the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, other side. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, high plank to flow. Maybe you lower half or all the way down. Baby cobra or up dog, inhale. And exhale, down dog. One breath in, one breath out. Inhale, heels up, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, steeple grip. Exhale, fingers to the left, hips to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, take your flow. Meet in down dog. One breath in, one breath out. Last time, inhale, heels up, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. How do you arrive? Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva steeple. Exhale to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, other side. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, flow it out. Meet in down dog. All right, let's slow it down. Blood should be flowing by now. I've got a light little sweat going. On an inhale, take your right leg up. Let's open the hip today. Oh yeah, maybe you hear a little pop. Drawing the right heel towards the left glute. Keep pressing through your right hand to square your heart. Then invite some circles into that hip. Nice and big. Change directions. Good, and square the hip, flex the heel, inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot through between your hands. Drop your left knee to the mat. Untuck your toes. Knee over ankle, big toe forward. Inhale, take your arms up. And breathe here. Find a little effort of drawing the ribs and hips in and then driving the left hip forward. If arms up is too much, take your hands to your heart. A few breaths. Stretching to the front of the left thigh. take both arms overhead. We're going to bend into that right elbow, taking that right hand in between the shoulders. Then we're going to take the left hand to grab for the top of that right elbow, giving a gentle pull and tilting slightly over to the left. Good, and release that. Plant your hands down to frame your right foot. Inhale to take your right arm up, taking a twist here. Draw that shoulder into the socket. Try to make sure your hand is aligned with your shoulder, not collapsing back. And just keep pressing the ground away. Avoiding collapsing into the left wrist. Good, then from here, using our core, we're going to take this into an open T-twist. So on an inhale, we're going to come up through center, heart opening up toward the right, thumbs facing the ceiling. Inhales to lengthen the spine, exhales to deepen the twist. Maybe you take the twist into your neck and look over your right thumb. Only look as far back as feels good. It could not be very far today. And then from here, we're going to flip the left palm to face to the ceiling. Take your right hand on the back of your left thigh or the small of your back and inhale to find height through the rib cage. Good, inhale, come back through center. And on the exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Start to straighten your right leg out for a half split. Toes flexed toward the face, hips stacked over the left knee, not sitting on the left heel. You can always bend your knee or bring your fingers to an item of support, such as a book or block or box. Hold here for a few breaths. You can always play with easing forward and backward here as well. Pointing and flexing the toes, or turning them to the right and left. Now from here, in this half split with our toes flexing up, look to your right and then take both hands outside of your right leg. Changing this up. Notice how that changed the stretch. Good. Hold here, full breath. And come back through center. Pause in your half split. I'm going to turn around so I'm facing the correct direction. From your half split, bend into your right knee, knee over ankle. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee up for an engaged low lunge. Just drawing that right hip back. Find some length through your spine here, a little bit of strength through your core. Hold here for a breath in, breath out. One more. We're going to look to the left and start to crawl into a wide-legged fold, turning your toes toward the left edge of your mat. Toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Let your head hang heavy. Now, I'm going to give you some time here. The first thing I want you to do, though, is to check in with where your weight is located in your feet. If all of your weight is pressing back into your heels, you might notice a lot of pressure on your hamstrings. So what happens if you draw the weight slightly forward? And what happens if you draw the navel upward and allow the head to hang? From there, it's dealer's choice, right? You can grab elbows, ankles, you can take a twist or a bind. You could take a forearm or headstand if that's in your practice and your body feels ready. A little bit of yogi playtime. It's really my hope that doing these home practices, you'll start to develop, if you weren't already there, right? Start to develop a little more confidence with making your own choices on your mat. Because even in studio, that's really what we want you to do, right? It's your practice. you know what you're working on, you know where your body can go, right? As teachers, we're here to provide you with structure, guidance, and safety. Um, but if I'm offering you a wide-legged fold and you know you can safely come into, I don't know, even a handstand from here, right? Then that's up to you, right? That's where your practice needs to go from day to day. So I hope that out of all this, you just start to develop a little more confidence on your mat. Start to make your way back to neutral in your wide-legged fold. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, spread wide through your fingers, and find a long flat back, really strong core. If that's not happening with hands under the shoulders, just take your hands to your legs. Really, I want this strong, supported, long spine. From there, on an inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Turn your right knee and toe forward and sink into your warrior two. Good. Extending the arms. Let's just check out our stance. Nice and long, right knee over ankle. Actively drawing that right knee slightly open toward the pinky toe edge. Notice that activates everything and protects the knee from collapsing. Our goal is a sustainable practice, right? And we're pressing through that left pinky toe, activating the left thigh as well, making sure our hips aren't sassing back, but drawing in. Core is still working. Shoulders guiding down the back. Look over your front middle finger, and then try to rip the floor apart with your feet. Good. And a little reach forward, inhale. Side angle on the exhale. Take your forearm to your thigh, your top arm to the sky, or can reach overhead if you want to keep encouraging that side body stretch. We're going to roll that right rib cage open. Notice if you're dumping into your right shoulder. Try to press away, finding that length. Look at that difference between this and this, right? Get breathing here. We're still pressing through both feet. Using our core, the muscles along our rib cage, our obliques to roll that right rib cage open. Beautiful. And we're going to come up through center. Let's take a little half moon prep. So I'm going to take my right elbow into my right rib cage. Find a little jazz hand action. Left hand to the left hip because I'm still sassy. From there, I'm going to look forward, right? I'm going to start to draw my weight into the right foot as I bend into the right knee. Now look, y'all, hips are already where we want them to be for half moon. So I really want you to avoid this urge to take both fingers down, which is going to square that hip. Try it from here. Hip placement, forward. Jazz hand, sassy hip. All right, look down. As you start to shift that weight forward, let your right hand kind of pull you forward. Then it's going to extend. As we take hip on hip, shoulder on shoulder, we're going to flex that left heel. We're still rolling that right rib cage open, drawing it away from the ground, up and away from our right hip. Maybe from there, that left hand comes up. Maybe you fall and you remind yourself, it's okay. Warrior two is there to catch you, and it's just yoga, all right? Just kind of testing the waters. This is our only balancing shape today, so play with it as long as you need to. Maybe you fall down. Maybe you try it again. Our balance is going to be different from day to day, right? Some days you're going to nail it, and some days are going to be a little more difficult. That's okay. Take your time, meet in warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Flip your right palm and inhale to a peaceful triangle, finding height. Lifting up through that right rib cage. Maybe your left hand's in a half bind or down the thigh. Can you stretch from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers? Big breath. And on the exhale, cartwheel down to a low lunge. Step back to a high plank. Perhaps you take a one-legged flow. We meet in down dog. All right, we're going to do this on our second side, and then we're going to cool down. From the down dog. Let it out. Take your left leg up, inhale. The exhale opens it up. Oh yeah, keep that left shoulder squaring by pressing through the palm, and then invite those big circles into the hip. And change directions. Good. And square the hip, extend the heel, big inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Drop your knee down. Or sorry, plant your foot and then drop your knee down, toes on top. Inhale, takes the arms up, Anjaneyasana, breathe here. Notice if you're splaying everything open, draw it in, then press it forward, finding a more intentional stretch along the front of the right hip. If arms up is ever too much, hands go to the heart. Got it. Bend into that left elbow, take your palm between your shoulders, grip the left elbow, give just a gentle pull as you tilt over to the right. Good. Inhale, come up, release that, and exhale to plant your hands, framing your left foot. Inhale, takes that left arm up, big twist. Draw the shoulder down, make sure your hand's not collapsing back. We're pressing up and away from the right wrist. Good, now using your core, start to come up to that open T twist, lifting the right hand up, heart opening toward the left, thumbs facing open toward the ceiling. Inhales, lengthen. Exhales, deepen. Maybe you gaze over that left thumb if that feels okay for your neck. I'm going to flip that right palm, left hand on the back of the right thigh or the small of the back. Inhale to find height through the right rib cage. And come back through center. Plant your hands to frame your left foot. And straighten out for your half split. Hips over the right knee, left toes flexing up. You can always bend your knee or bring your fingers to an item of support. And play with bending into it. And coming back, pointing or flexing. Right or left, or you can simply hold. Notice if the left side is different than the right. The toes flexing up, look to your left, take both hands outside that left leg. And come back through center, one breath in, one breath out. Inhale to your low lunge, bend into your left knee, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up, firming that thigh. Left hip looks slightly back. You can be on your fingertips like those cupcake hands, right? Taking the weight out of the wrists, and then try to keep the weight out, but take your hands down, right? So at any moment you could hover your hands here. We're not dumping the weight down. Starting to go deeper with the same engagement that we've practiced for a really long time. And from here, let's come into that wide-legged fold. Turn to your right, toes slightly in, heels slightly out. You may need to adjust your feet, that's fine. And then take what you need here, right? Maybe you do something different this time. Maybe you turn your knees and toes out, getting a little deeper into the hips, sinking the hips down. Maybe you take Skandasana here. Bind, twist, goddess, whatever. Balance. What's calling to you right now? All right, friends, start to make your way back to neutral. If you're in a balancing shape, please take your time. Hands come under the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Inhale to find that long, flat back, lengthening through the crown of your head, shoulders sliding down the back. Again, your hands can come to your thighs instead here, or your shins. The goal is to have a long and engaged core. From here, take an inhale. Good. And on your next inhale, start to come up to standing. Turn your left toes forward, bend into your left knee for your warrior two. Again, check in. Long stance, take up some space. Knee over ankle, big toe forward, opening outward, pressing through that right pinky toe. No sassy hips, strong through center, shoulders down the back. Gaze over the front middle finger. Rip the floor apart. Hold for a couple breaths. Inhale, we'll reach forward. Side angle on the exhale, that top arm can come up or overhead. Again, we're rolling the left rib cage open. Try not to dump into the left shoulder, press away. I'm still pressing through both feet. Using the muscles along the left side to roll the rib cage open. Maybe you extend that left arm. Good. Inhale, come up through center. So, from here, again, prepping for our half moon. I'm going to take my jazz hand, left elbow into the ribs. I'm going to take my sassy hip here, right? Real sassy, real jazzy. From there, again, try to keep the hips in this position instead of turning forward with your hands down, right? Resist that urge. We're already set up for where we want to be. Start to pull your weight and your focus forward, right? Looking forward. This back foot usually gives a little drag for me. And then I reach that left hand forward as I float up, right? So try it out a few times. Reaching, still keeping everything open, and float. Maybe you fall. Oh no, that's okay. It's just yoga, right? Try it again. It's going to be different day to day and from side to side. Good. Flexing the heel, try to draw away from the ground. Right arm can come up or stay at the hip. Your hand could always come to an item of support or the floor, or it can float. It can come to your heart. Should you fall, do it with style. Warrior Two's there to catch you. Take your time. This is our only balancing shape today. So maybe continue to play with it. Maybe you just practice coming forward and landing. Coming forward and landing, right? Take your time from Warrior Two. Straighten your left leg, flip your left palm. Inhale, find height, peaceful triangle. Breathing up through that left rib cage, right arm down the thigh or in a half bind. And exhale, cartwheel down. Step back. Maybe you take a one-legged flow. We meet. And down dog. Good. Just a couple beats in this final down dog. Notice if it's different. Notice if the heels are closer to the ground. If any of that tension you felt earlier has maybe lessened. And from down dog, travel to the top of your mat and take a seat. Got a couple cool down shapes for you today. All right. Let's start with Baddha Konasana, because you know I love it. Feet together, knees wide like a butterfly. Sit bones down, tall spine, inhale. And then on the exhale, begin to fold forward. You can interlace your fingers around your toes, using your arms to draw you a little further down. Soften your neck, your jaw, and concentrate your breath down into the hips. Full breath cycle. Good. Slowly on an inhale, begin to make your way back up. Let's work with a seated twist. So I'm going to draw my left heel over toward my right butt cheek, right? And I'm going to pick my right foot up and plant it outside my left thigh, and then I'm going to make sure my right sit bone plugs down. If this isn't happening today, you can extend your left leg long instead and still just plant the foot outside the thigh. Wherever you are, both sit bones down, arms go up, inhale. On the exhale, seated twist, you have two options. The first option is to hook your elbow outside your thigh with your fingertips facing up, finding that twist. Second option is to hook it around the leg, giving a gentle hug, and then look back. And exhale, release, just a little counter. And then we will switch sides. So I'm going to take the right heel toward the left glute. I'm going to pick my left foot up, plant it outside my thigh, and then I'm going to plug my left hip, boom, down. Right? Maybe you extend the leg long. Take a second, find it. Maybe it's different on this side. Arms up on the inhale. Exhale, you can hook the elbow to the thigh or grip around it, giving a gentle hug. Look over the left shoulder, only as far as comfortable. And exhale, release, tiny counter. And let's extend the legs long. Give a little wiggle out. Find your sit bones on the mat. On the inhale, arms go up, lift out of the ribs. Exhale to reach for your toes. If you can't reach your toes, bend your knees until you can. And then let's work with the breath today. On the inhale, pull your navel in, lengthen up your spine, lift your heart. It's like a wave. Exhale, see if you can maybe fold a tiny bit deeper. Inhale, navel in, lengthen, lift. Exhale, surrender. Full breath cycle. Inhale to slowly come up. On the exhale, gently hum to lay down on your back. Oh yeah. Take your knees to your chest. Give a little squeeze. Maybe make some circles of your ankles here. And then let's take a happy baby before we close out. And we grip for the soles of the feet flex to hand, knees to armpits. Drawing the knees down. Maybe you find some play, rocking side to side. Maybe play with extending your legs, pulling your toes overhead. If this doesn't feel comfortable gripping your feet, try just gripping your shins and drawing your knees out wide. Maybe flutter out your lips. You remind yourself it's not that serious because it's just a happy baby. from your happy baby. Take your feet together. Take your knees together. Wrap your forearms around your shins and pull your forehead in to meet your knees. Give yourself a big tight squeeze. Show yourself some gratitude for showing up for you today. Take your biggest inhale yet. And exhale, Shavasana. This is the good stuff, y'all. If you have the time, please don't skip it. Arms and legs long. Toes go wide. Eyelids close. Y'all, this really is very important to give yourself just a little bit of stillness after all of that stimulation. So if you're able to, just rest with me for a little bit. We won't be here super long. Close your eyes. Come back to your natural breath. Allow your muscles to soften, to relax. Allow your shoulders and hips to grow heavy. Maybe here you turn your inner gaze to your third eye. Maybe you once again simply notice all the sounds around you. Allow yourself to sink into stillness, knowing I'll guide you out of this shortly. Yogis, I want to encourage you to take as much time as you need to rest here, to stay in stillness as long as you're able to. However, if you are ready to seal practice out, just begin to softly draw your focus back in. Invite some little wiggles into your fingers today, you can let your head softly fall to one side and the other. And then on an inhale, let's find a nice, big, good morning stretch. Reach your arms overhead. Pull fingers and toes away from each other. Lengthen the spine out. Oh, this is my favorite stretch. And on an exhale, bend into your knees. And allow yourself to just roll to one side. If you can, keep your eyes closed. On an inhale, gently begin to press up to a seat. Nice tall spine here. On an inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Yogis, I want to encourage you to stay here a moment, if only to sit a little longer with this connection to your breath, your practice, or the intention you set. Perhaps you even choose to sit here in meditation even after I sign off. Really, the question is, how can we step off our mats a little bit different than when we stepped on? Let's take a deep breath in. Open mouth release. Now, as always, friends, the light in me honors, acknowledges, and loves that same light in you. Namaste. Beautiful, y'all. Thanks so much for being here. Again, my name is Anna MC. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said earlier, what we did today is kind of prepping us for our power flow tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here. Please remember to donate if you can at blackswanyoga.com/live. Have a good day. Drink lots of water. Stay hydrated. Be well.